Hi guys, it's Amazing Purple Girl back with another Steam Next Fest demo. This is my last one out of this round, and it is a Wadget Eye game. It's been published by Wadget Eye, and it is NIGHTHAWKS. Now, I know a bit about this because obviously I'm on the Wadget Eye Discord server, and they talk about this a lot, so I know it's an RPG. That's about all I know. An RPG about vampires, I should say. Now, I don't generally play RPGs, so I've literally no idea how I'm going to get on with this, but I thought I'd give it a try since it is Wadget Eye Games, and we'll see. We'll see. So let's begin the demo. And it's bound to be voiced, it's Wadget Eye. 6 months ago you died. I'm a vampire. Oh, proceed. The story of your life is yours to celebrate, mourn, or forget. This is the story of your death. What is your name? This may not have been your name in life, but it is the name that you now wear. All else is your business, casting as much or as little light on your path as you choose. I'm going to be purple. Oh, I've got to have two names. I'm going to be purple. Cool. This is who I am. A fine name, may you wear it well. Everything began with the stranger. They took you into their life and then took yours. Their blood now runs through your veins, and you carry their memory in your flesh. But who were they? A wolf amongst sheep, the privilege of wealth and power sharpened to the finest point. For a while, you wanted for nothing. Then, just as quickly, your novelty faded and left behind nothing but obligation. You developed suspicion at a greatly reduced rate. I am the heir of the aristocrat. Okay. Your new lineage is one of pain and potential, stretching back centuries, from the darkest legends of every corner of the world where people have had cause to fear the night. What is its story? Oh, I could have chosen. Whoopsie. From the eternal dynasties of Europe to the solitary loners of quiet peasant hamlets, continental vampires are known for their ability to move through a human society with both ease and arrogance. You're an expert at seduction and manipulation. Well, I'll go with that one. Everybody knows that vampiric powers are a myth. Propaganda, fantasy. Everybody is wrong, as you learned shortly after your awakening. But what new power waited on the edge of possibility? You can talk to corpses. No, I don't want that one. Natural dominion. Okay, dominion over nature. No, I don't want that. I think I like this one. Dead men tell no tales. That depends how you ask. Echoes of life linger around corpses and scenes of trauma. You know their language and can call upon them for their secrets. This enables you to witness echoes of trauma and the recently deceased. Okay, I'll go with that one. Life and death taught you many things, but what is your primary sphere of knowledge? Technology? Seems like a good idea. Culture. Academia. Street. Occults. I think technology. From scientific discoveries to fixing computers, there is little in the modern world that you cannot master Or at least turn off and on again until it works. Very well, these are the cards that fate has dealt you. Do you accept them? I want to check this sire. I can change it. Right, so scholar. Could do that. Hedonist. Immune to tainted blood. Oh. Seems like a good idea. Build any weapon. Hunting skills. And I went with that. Yeah. Passion and torture, love and depravity. They delight in testing your every limit and teasing your conscience past them until nothing remained but a hunger for ever greater excess. You were immune to the effects of tainted blood, which would otherwise greatly limit you until it wears off. I think I'm going to go with that one. Cruel. Yes, I think I'm happy with everything else. This is who I am in the dark. Then let us begin. I'll do that. Keep forgetting I have to click. Okay, loading screen. Prologue, A Second Life. Streets of Cradlebridge. Monday, the small hours. Another night, the same thirst. Rain pours down onto the naked city as cold and oppressive as ever. The night is no longer quiet and never still. Not since the veil fell, when the world learned that there were monsters living amongst them. Monsters like you, no longer protected by the shadows. Knock on Elijah Morrow's apartment door. This is the place deep in the tenements of Cradlebridge. No answer, not a surprise. While you hardly share your sire's anger towards Morrow for vanishing into the night, he has reason to be afraid. Traitors who lack the sense to look over their shoulder only have themselves to blame. Hey, down here, need help. I'm your stone cold pal. Hover over the stuff down here. Okay. Blood. Okay. New life. Resting will heal you up good and proper. Okay. I mean, I don't think I've got either of those. Attempt to pick the lock. The door easily gives way. Beyond the doorway, the apartment is empty. The fact that you can cross the threshold without an invitation is proof that nobody currently calls it home. Step into the old apartment. Morrow's apartment is a temple to filth and decay. The foul smell of standing water hangs in the air, seeping out from the small bathroom towards the tiny bed and its bare mattress. Every mirror is broken, as is most of the furniture. Rain beats against cracked windows. The damp has worked its way into every nook and crevice. You close the door behind you, not bothering with the primitive lock. This is the last lead you have to Morrow's location, and the reason for your pursuit. Carefully engraved with a dead person's name. Ah, I can talk to dead. It was not worth much, but it was yours. Why he took it, you do not know. An accident, a moment of cruelty, the order of your sire looking to remove any troublesome ties. That is something he can answer when you find him. It was the last remaining piece of your old life, the last reminder of sunlight and a heart that still beats. Okay. It is, however, not here. The only real hope is that Morrow left in a hurry and didn't cover his tracks as well as he might have done. There is only one way to know for sure. Search for clues around the bed. Search the desk in the corner. Search the bathroom. Search the desk. The desk is small and cramped with a chair that wobbles uncertainly at the slightest touch. On it, a barely started letter reads simply, "Cynthia, please," and then trails off. The garbage bin next to it is full of equally aborted drafts. Okay, the top drawer's locked. Let's go to the middle drawer. You open up the drawer, it is empty except for a few spare bits of paper, some pens and pencils, and a small spider that scuttles away in terror at the sudden light. Bottom drawer? You open the bottom drawer. There is nothing in it except for some wax and your sire's seal, the mark that told those in the know that Morrow was authorised to speak on their behalf. A somewhat antiquated sign of confidence, but not an uncommon one. Older vampires do tend to enjoy ceremony. Okay, well, we've got the top drawer. You grip the handle tight and pull. It offers little resistance. Inside the drawer you see a small leather-bound book, Morrow's diary. It begins in his usual copperplate handwriting, but by the end has devolved into barely coherent scrawling. The last entry is dated over a week ago. "I'm free, finally free, but I still feel it inside me. I have to cut it out, bleed it out. It won't go back. I won't lose myself again." Put the diary back. Leave the desk for now. Okay, search the bed. The bed is a bare mattress atop a cracked wooden frame. There is a single pillow and a few unwashed bits of clothing that apparently served Morrow as a blanket while he was here. A coat, a pair of pants, an old pizza box lies next to them. Search for the clothes. The pockets all appear to be empty until you get to a pair of old black slacks. Inside is a wallet, empty except for a few nickels, an organ donor card and a long expired driving licence. Check the driving licence. Elijah Morrow, your sire's vassal, working in the sun so that they could rule the night. The traitor. At least now you have a photograph to show people, instead of trying to describe a man with few distinguishing features except for the neck scars. Look under the bed. Aside from the dust, the only thing under the bed is a small shoebox. Inside, a pair of syringes, a spoon, a rubber tourniquet and some needles. They look blunt, heavily reused. Well, I might as well look in the pizza box. An irritated rat squeals, angry to have been stirred from its impromptu bed amongst the crusted strands of mozzarella. Drop the pizza box in a hurry, carefully put it down on the bed. Put it on the bed. The rat glowers at you as you close the pizza box back over its head and leave it to sleep. Okay. Bathroom. Bare splintered wood underfoot. A cheap ceramic bath with barely enough room for an average sized person to sit in. The hot water is disconnected. The state of the toilet in the corner is best left unmentioned. Never mind actively investigated. Read the residual echoes of the room. An image briefly flickers behind your mind. A naked man huddled in a bathtub, the light off. His skin is a mesh of scars and fresh cuts. He has a razor blade in his hand, blunt from overuse. He gasps as he drags it over his legs, just enough to let more blood ooze away. Red but darker than usual. An oily swirl that seals the artery before too much can escape. The image fades away, leaving nothing but stains. Morrow's desperation comes through without any help. Examine the filthy bathtub. The yellowing bath is cramped and heavily stained in reddish brown. Blood. If a vampire knows anything by sight, it's blood. The stain is old now and has worked itself in deep. Open a medicine cabinet. The cabinet is mostly empty. A bottle of cheap off-brand aspirin, an empty pack of iron supplements. Underneath that is a small metal key, too small for a door. The key to Morrow's desk, most likely. There seems little point in picking it up now. Oh, okay. State of the toilet. Morrow did not, in fact, hide anything in the cistern, nor did he flush before he departed. I'll flush it. You lower the toilet lid and close the cistern, departing on a very, very slight moral high ground that really does not matter much in the great scheme of anything. Leave the bathroom. Consider the evidence you have discovered. This was definitely where Morrow ended up after shirking his mission in this miserable city and severing all contact with the hedonist. While here, he tried to bleed himself dry of his master's blood, their influence. Does that work? Vampiric vassals are typically too subordinate to their lords to even try. But the same is not true of their heirs. You are here on your own business, nobody else's. Ancient instincts prickle. You are not alone. Behind you, a breath of defiant fear, defying not just your presence, but the ever-crawling urge to get away from it as quickly as possible. You turn, hands raised in readiness. An open palm can so easily become a claw.
What do you think you're doing in here? We're sick of you damn cold-bloods acting like you own the place. Dead is dead.
Threaten her into dropping the gun. Talk her into lowering the gun. Do that. You smile your best smile at the old woman, promising her that the last thing you would do is hurt anyone, that you are merely here in search of an old friend and just leaving anyway. She lowers the gun, uncertainly, just a little. It is all the time you need to step forward and tear it out of her hands, throwing it into a corner. The warmth of her blood calls out to you. How long has it been since you last fed? Too long. Too many hungry nights. Struggling with your thirst and the need to keep a low profile. But now it's close enough that you can almost smell it. Hear it. Pumping and pounding in her chest. Hot, alive, pure. Every instinct whispers to you to take it all. That nobody will ever know. Nobody will care. Resist. The thirst burns, but your self-control is stronger. You control yourself, squeezing your fist into a ball until the urge faints. The terrified woman stares at you, wide-eyed, with no idea how close she just came to breathing her last. Ask her politely to get the hell out of your way. The old woman backs against the wall, mumbling a prayer under her breath as you walk past her. You stride back through the door before she has a chance to reconsider, or to shout for help. There is nothing more to be found here in any event. Tomorrow is long gone. Step back out into the cold streets of Cradlebridge. Cradlebridge, the dead market district of a dying city. The perfect place to stash those vampires unable to claw their way up from the gutter. A place where vampires can gain amnesty for any and all past crimes, in exchange for a pinky promise to keep their instincts in check henceforth. Home, at least for now. The new faces of the night. Two figures in leather watch from the depths of an alleyway. They see you walking alone. They see that even in the cold of night, your breath leaves no clouds. You pass, trying to avoid eye contact. It has been many days since you fed properly. They produce something from their pockets. Their steps match yours as they put on their masks. Cheap, featureless party masks, sprayed white. Originally a sop to anonymity. Now a symbol of defiance against vampires sharing the streets with the still living. Trouble. Turn to face them directly. Break into a run while you can. You turn and for just a moment the pair takes a step backwards. The moment doesn't last. You can sense their anticipation as they produce their weapons and step forwards to do their parts in keeping the streets safe for people who bleed like them. Okay, prepare to defend yourself. Your spirit takes the pair by surprise. Most vampires around here are starved, feeble creatures, unable to put up a fight. Suddenly, what should have been an evening's entertainment has become considerably less enjoyable for them. Or a pistol.
Now, play fair, darlings.
Okay. A swooshing sound cuts through the air. Moonlight glints on a blur of fast... Oh, I haven't got time for this, have I? Oh no, okay. Of fast-moving metal, a throwing knife hurled with deadly precision and merciful aim spears the masked woman's hand, sends the gun clattering into the shadows. All eyes turn to the figure standing in the alley entrance, smirking with a fanged amusement and another knife already primed.
Two against one? Well, that's not very sporting.
The white-haired woman sighs, retrieving her throwing knife. It vanishes into thin air with a flick of her wrist. She smiles at you, eyes flicking up and down to check your injuries with what seems more professional interest than actual concern.
Come on, darling. Let's get you back home while it's still nice and dark.
Thank you.
You're welcome, darling. We modern monsters must stick together.
Okay. Act 1, The King of Cradlebridge. This is not anything like I expected. The Halcyon Hotel. The rusted metal of your bed creaks underneath you, its mattress damp and encrusted with ancient patches of blood, sweat and semen. The last stinging memories of the day's bad dreams fade into the increasingly familiar drip, drip, drip of a waking nightmare lit by a cheap flickering bulb. Crawl out of bed. Everything aches, everything is cold. Your blood sits stagnant in your veins, no longer at the whim of a beating heart. You pull yourself to your feet and take a moment to lick at your still unfamiliar fangs. Well, I don't think we'll have a reflection. Peer out the window. You fix the planks back into position and look down at the street below. It is quiet, but not the peaceful, relaxing kind. It is the quiet of a place where everyone minds their own business because they really don't want to get caught up in anyone else's. Draw. The cross atop a Gideon Bible stings at your eyes, burning like chili peppers. Unable to bring yourself to touch it, you shut the drawer tight. The pain slowly fades, though the scorched after-image lingers considerably longer. You wipe the dust from the mirror, no reflection, of course, but the empty frame staring back through you is still discomforting. Perhaps for the moment, however, that is for the best. Wash your face in the sink. 8 years ago, the world changed forever. You came to the city in the hope of finding a place where your new nature would be accepted. Instead, you found little but suspicion, fear and poverty. But everything changes in time. Outcasts rise. A cheap hotel room in one of the most impoverished, dangerous parts of the city. The windows are barely boarded up enough to keep the sun from your skin, and the room's heater struggles to even take the edge off the rising damp. Home, for now. It's a new act. Each one you'll have some big thing to do and a whole load of options to explore by the end of the month. Don't worry, you've plenty of time to get stuff done. Equip. You open up your wardrobe to pick suitable equipment for tonight's adventure. Since the veil came down, it is rare to see people around here not packing some kind of weapon for personal safety. It's not always legal. It's still considered common sense. Well, it looks like it's just an outfit then. Birthday suit is technically a suit. You consider your choices. Outfits can increase your confidence, boosting your skills as well as offer protection. They do not otherwise define you, just your taste in modern fashion. Okay, you have equipped everything you need for now. So you don't know the city well enough yet. Call it a night. Oh no, okay. You glance down at your bed, but you have spent long enough staring up at this cracked ceiling. If opportunities await in this city, they aren't going to be found by sleeping until the rent is due. Okay, let's leave. As you prepare to leave, someone knocks on your door. The woman from the previous night is standing there, looking at you with a smile. She helped you back here last night, but you were too tired and bruised for any further conversation.
Ah, it lives. I just thought I'd drop by and see how you're settling in. Mystery, questions, aren't they the most delicious things in life? All that matters is that Madame Lux performs magic to astonish the mind every Tuesday and Thursday at the Sleepless Moon. I do hope to see you there.
Okay, so it's Madame Lux.
Darling, you wound me. And to think, I spent all that time putting up brand new posters.
Okay. Advice on the day? On the city? Day.
If I was you, my dear little sweetmeat, I'd try to get out of this place as soon as possible.
Okay.
Definitely get yourself something to eat. Or someone. I won't tell if you don't.
Yes. We're quite low on blood.
It's not exactly the Ritz, I know, but, well, at least it's cheap. I stayed here a while myself when I first arrived in this charming city. A few nights was quite enough. Still, it keeps that naughty sun off your back, Well, I wasn't thinking of a healthy Caesar salad, dear. A city like this is a veritable buffet, and most of us have had to, how to put this, hunt fresh at some point or another. Nightclubs are perfect, or a nice back alley. Somewhere the little puppets are nice and pliable.
Okay.
Well, as you like. Until later then, my dear. Should you make any friends out there, do please suggest they attend one of my shows every Tuesday and Thursday, remember?
Sure, Tuesday and Thursday. Right, so, yeah, I've decided I'm going to go alone for now. The Halcyon is a fine old building, now long past its prime. The paint is peeled and every surface sticky. The rat droppings trodden into the carpets and slithering cockroaches behind the wallpaper say more of the place's standards than any review. Okay. Talk to the clerk. Clark yawns as you approach, barely even bothering to look up. The smell that hangs around him isn't tobacco. Let's look at the resident list. Book is upside down and written in what can only, with the greatest of generosity, be considered legible handwriting. Most of the names are meaningless to you. Your own is marked as being on the 3rd floor with a prominent V symbol scribbled next to it. Sophia Sterling is the latest name to be written next to room 16, atop many other hastily crossed out names. You have never visited it, but there are often rather eager-looking gentlemen waiting outside, checking their watches with some urgency. The name is slightly faded. Whoever Domino Quick is, they have clearly been here for a while. There are no other details in the book. Actually, I should look at what it says about me. Ah, yes, that would be you. You glance down to check that you are still there. It appears that you are. Right. Ask about the hotel. The clerk gives you an expression that suggests that all of the world's people have used to describe this particular slice of heaven. Estimable is not one of them. The Halcyon Hotel certainly had its golden age once, but these nights the basic rule is not to complain about the cockroaches because they've been polite enough not to complain about you. Okay, there's nothing else. Let's go outside. You step from the damp warmth of the halcyon into the streets of Cradlebridge, where light is swallowed up. He doesn't say up. Where light is swallowed by the darkness and few dare to venture without good cause. Old Town is not far and seems like the best place to begin your search for Morrow, but your thirst burns and it will not be left unsatiated for long. Okay. Right, we're there. It's Old Town, free clinic. Let's go to... Right, go Old Town then. The wrong side of the tracks. A once prosperous marketplace, now abandoned by even most of its drug dealers. The air hangs heavy with the smell of rotting brick and overflowing sewers. Beggars shake tins at passers-by, hoping to scrounge coin for a bed or a bottle to keep them warm through the night. The few locals forced out this late push past irritably, eyes sallow and fixed on their own problems. Head into the Rose at midnight. You approach the store but discover that it is closed tonight. The window has been broken with a brick and hastily boarded up. Anti-vampire graffiti has already been plastered across it, including the ever-popular warning, "Dead is dead." Strong words, despite the fact that the Rose's clientele are primarily humans who simply enjoy exploring a gothic aesthetic. Last Nickel Diner. The Salvation Centre. Well, that's vampires. We'll go to this man, I guess. The man has the look of a model and the apparent intelligence of a model train. He enthusiastically pushes a purple piece of paper into your hand, advertising a nearby club. It doesn't look particularly promising, and it's not like you can afford much in the way of a night out anyway. Still, you take it just in case. You politely dispose the flyer in the nearest bin. NIGHTHAWKS. Name of the game. Go to the diner, I guess. The dark and decrepit diner is nevertheless the only choice in these parts for hot coffee and variably identifiable meats. As you enter, one customer unenthusiastically sips a spoonful of tomato soup. She pauses and curiously extracts the long black hair from her teeth. Back in the kitchen, a bald chef absently reaches into his pants and takes a deep, satisfied scratch. There is blood on the floor, but apparently not on tap. You flick through the menu. Even in life, nothing you see in the photographs would have been particularly appetizing. Now it would be literally inedible. Technically, vampires can consume food, but it has all the taste and benefit of chewing on packing peanuts. Only blood has any flavour anymore, and it is an often acrid one that a sprinkle of extra spices does little to improve. Okay. I guess we go to Salvation Centre. Hungry eyes watch you enter the Salvation Centre, a threadbare boxing gym reluctantly handed over to the undead community by the City Council. Volunteers splash highly watered down blood into bowls for the ever-increasing homeless vampire population. It is an unsatisfying broth, barely enough to take the edge of desperation. Alas, it is the extent of the city's charity. Administrator. I'll just line up for the broth. You line up for your 3 blood, served from a large bubbling pot and watered down as much as possible. A small card next to the bowl informs everybody that it is made possible by the kind charity of one Mr. Sam Tancredi, esteemed local businessman. Well, I got a bit of blood. Move on. Speak to the administrator. The tired-looking woman with the lab coat and clipboard looks up at your approach. She has the slightly terse buzz of a coffee addict, finding that there is only so much of it that you can drink before sleep demands its toll. A sticker on her coat reads, Irene
If you're
Velasco.
here to donate blood, please inquire at the free clinic. Oh, wait. I see. Not a donor, are we? Well, I just hope you're not hoping for a bed.
I'm not.
How admirable. Far too many come to this city thinking that the streets are paved with gold and the blood flows from every faucet.
Velasco warily switches into the extra professionalism of an expert offering their opinion on their specialist subject.
Cradlebridge is a place in need of help it will not get from our elected officials. I do what I can, but it will never be enough. Not without support that can be touched and spent. I'm an oncologist at New City General with a subspecialty in hematology. I never thought I'd be using it for anything like this. I don't think anyone knows why blood has the effect that it does upon vampire physiology. It complicates matters that animal blood cannot be used as a substitute. Only human blood suffices, and I shudder to think where it will be sourced if demand becomes any higher. Ever since St. Raphael's burned down, we've been running far above capacity. It's not the staff's fault, but I can't deny what people say. It's the perfect place if you want a few more diseases to add to your collection.
Oh dear.
It's not much, but we do what we can. We get some blood from the city and others from voluntary donations at the free clinic. It is never enough. Unfortunately, the mayor's interest in revenant well-being begins and ends with a few insincere speeches to the press. Honestly, the scientific community is at something of a loss. Much of what we know of your kind is hard to explain without descending into magical talk. Perhaps magic will be our new science. That would be interesting. Yes, I know this man.
Oh.
He called himself Elliot Morgan, but that's definitely him. A strange one. He claimed to be here to volunteer, but spent most of his time bothering our guests. I assumed that it was a sex thing, to be honest. He said something about needing a new master.
Okay.
Frankly, he was creeping out both our human and revenant guests with it all, so we told him his services wouldn't be required. I'm afraid not, but I did see a number of scars on his arm that I'd swear were needle marks. If I had to guess, I'd suggest the shooting gallery at St. Raphael's. Most addicts end up there. The other kind of shooting. Needles, veins.
The vampire in the boxing ring scowls at her current victim before delivering the kind of blow that would knock the average human down for the count. She wipes her brow as you approach, giving you a scathing once-over with her granite stare.
Here for a lesson. Grab yourself some boxing gloves and get up here. You'll survive. Probably.
Cane. Try say that.
Name's Saoirse. Kind of the closest to a welcome wagon you're getting.
Okay.
Thing most folks forget is, if you were all soft in life, you're starting out just as soft in death. Too many baby vampires go out thinking immortal is the same as indestructible. Poor bastards. Come on then, try kicking my arse.
Okay. You unleash hell on the giant vampire, who takes every blow with ease and returns them with interest. By the time she declares the bout over, you are bruised and battered, but still standing. Not many can claim that after a fight with Saoirse Kane.
Got a few nicks there, mind. Should get yourself checked out by the doc over at St. Raph's. Plays rough, but knows his stuff.
Cool.
These scars, old school, one by one. Earned them all the old-fashioned way. Snarling, bare-chested, and covered in sweat and blood. back in the fighting pits of Dublin. Nothing better for teaching the beast inside you how to roar. Can't go being a blushing damsel when you've 50 drunk bastards on all sides, all betting their weak salt on how many teeth you'll be leaving behind on the sand. Don't go getting any funny ideas. Been years since I had a fight worth taking half that serious. Besides, chilly as hell in this burg. You keep your vest on, and I'll keep mine. Well, you just look around a bit. Maybe try over an angel breach for starters. Bit of a walk, mind,
Okay.
if you've not got the scratch for a taxi. Same as everything. Practice. Take your lumps. Not much can deal you out for good. That what can, try not to get in the way of. Fire, silver, anything like that. Just don't be stupid.
Okay. Seems like I need to go to St. Raph's then, doesn't it? Oh, it's even further than the flipping hotel. There's NIGHTHAWKS. A run-down nightclub near the edge of town. It looks seedy and poorly maintained, but still has a decent line of people waiting to get in or simply seeking shelter from the rain. An irritable bouncer lets them in at a slow but steady drip, checking for drugs and frequently pocketing small bribes from queue jumpers. I'm gonna sneak round the back. You wait until the bouncer is distracted by a pretty lady in red and slip quietly down an alleyway next to the club. It leads to a fire exit at the back of the restrooms, unguarded and unattended. Your feet stick to the carpet. Although this nightclub seems one of the few hotspots of Cradlebridge's life, it can only be because of a lack of competition. The dance floor lightly throbs with action, while the bar seems quiet enough to have a conversation. A bored-looking redhead alternates between serving drinks and flicking through a paperback book hidden underneath the counter. Okay. Visit the bar. Oh, look at this art. Oh, I see. It's just the bartender then.
Hey, stranger. I'm Becca. What'll it be? Beer, whiskey, a little champagne to get the night started, right? Wait, sorry. My bad. The special wine, yeah?
Okay. Talk her into giving you one on the house. Absolutely.
Oof. Someone needs to practice their shtick. Here. But don't think it's your sparkling wit. I just have a soft spot for strays.
Thank you. Rebecca pours you a fresh, warm blood, thick, red, and warmed with all the love that a few minutes in a small microwave underneath the bar can provide. I do like this animation. Finish your blood.
So, not to be nosy or anything, but what's it like? Drinking blood, I mean.
You don't like the taste.
Yeah, lots of folks say that. Most of our regulars like to mix in a little cinnamon. Something about handling the iron aftertaste.
That
Anyway.
sounds good. Right, show her the driving license.
Sorry, I don't know the face. My bet? Try down in Old Town. Folks who get lost around here usually end up there. The lucky ones, anyway.
Yeah, she doesn't know the face, so...
Heard a few folks talking about some guy called Dr. Finch over at St. Raphael's who specializes in treating vampires. Thing is, St. Raphael's burned down a few years ago. Me? I'm Rebecca. Becca to friends. Becky, if you want me to hurt you. Just your average ex-student buried in debt. Luckily, the boss's shiny fangs tend to scare off new staff pretty quick, so... yeah, plenty of extra shifts for Becca.
Oh, you make money that way then.
For Cradle Bridge, it's a pretty high-class kind of dive. Don't need a big metal grill in front of the bar. We've got a few regulars drink here by choice, and it's probably only one of them that keeps shitting in the sink.
Oh, lovely.
Who knows? Maybe one day we'll even get uniforms that fit.
Maybe.
Oh, I see plenty. Don't worry, I'm cool with it. I mean, I always kind of suspected you folks are around, even before everyone knew for real. Most of the revs I know are okay, just like most folks really. But the others, hey, that's why I've got a pepper spray loaded with silver. For Cradle Bridge, it's a pretty high-class kind of dive. Don't need a big metal grill in front of the bar. We've got a...
Okay, enough questions. So we've done that. Okay, go to the VIP lounge. Ducking under the velvet rope, you slip into the VIP lounge. It isn't much more luxurious than the rest of the club, with its musty old cushion and desperately outdated decor. Someone has at least dusted the place though. A clubber is here dancing. I don't need to feed. I've got quite a lot of blood, so maybe lay it another time. You are heading towards the main door when two large figures detach themselves from the shadows and block your way. They don't seem hostile, just firm. As they point back towards the club's main office, the king wants to see you. Come with us. The dance music fades as you are led down concrete steps into the basement, where a single bare bulb lights little but rusting nightclub equipment and no shortage of black mould in damp corners. There you are led into an office without windows, where a fat vampire sits smoking an even fatter cigar and flicking through a positively obese roll of money. Okay, sit down.
This the one? Let me guess. You're new around here. Gotta be poking around without even coming to introduce yourself. What's the world coming to, huh? Well, will you look at that? Finally a baby vampire with a sense of propriety.
Okay.
Listen to me, baby vampire. Name's Tancredi.
Oh, this is
And this here
Tancredi.
is my territory. Mine. You'll remember that if you want to keep feeding here. There's worse shit than death. Trust me on that one. Now, before we go any further, gotta ask, got any special tricks?
I think I'm gonna confess.
Ha, now that's a thing. Of course, I don't need to remind you. Stuff like that, it's just a fantasy for the papers. Don't make it anything more.
Sure.
Anyways, from what I hear, you've been poking your nose around this last week or so. Let's have it then. What's your business in my kingdom? Think very carefully before you try any bullshit.
I don't get a choice.
Morrow, huh? Dangerous name to be dropping around here, baby vampire. Whole lot of people are looking for that piece of shit, including yours truly.
Oh, right.
Big reward on that head.
Not good,
Real
is it?
big. Well, you better be ready to join the line. Speaking of, Gideon, get this cold-blooded pass. No sense having him waste time with the plebes when there's so much work to get done.
You are led upstairs through a small maze of unpainted concrete corridors and chipped wooden doors to a rather smaller office. It smells of dust and cheap cologne. An ancient computer on the desk, its cheap grey plastic long turned nicotine yellow.
Right. This pass will get you past the queues. Don't lose it. I am Gideon Jenks, the King's Seneschal. I handle his business, including the tribute expected for hunting within the domain.
Oh.
You will, of course, be expected to pay through service, if needed.
Did he say domain? Because that does not say domain.
Indeed, many people believe that at first. they soon learn to dread the coming of winter and the chill of bones that never healed properly.
Okay.
Yes, you think yourself invulnerable as well as immortal. Spare me the naive bravado.
What does he know?
I am aware that the king is most eager to find the gentleman in question. The reasons are not, I would suggest, any of your concern.
Fine. Spider. Spider is large, black and fearless. Gideon stops scribbling in his ledger for a moment. His eyes flick down and a bead of sweat rolls down his forehead. He coughs, trying his best to ignore it.
Ah, the correct question. Splendid. Nothing too onerous, I assure you. A little contribution to the greater good in exchange for, let us call it, protection from misfortune. Insurance.
His right hand trembles slightly at the spider. Before you can do anything, Gideon's hand shoots out, scooping up the spider and cramming it into his mouth. He swallows it whole and shivers in what could be revulsion, but looks more like a junkie getting their fix. The clock at the back of his office ticks, marking the awkward silence. With trembling hands, he reaches for a cup of coffee. Not just cold, but with a skin on it.
I suppose there's no hiding it. They call it the Renfield compulsion. A side effect of... suffice to say that the king and I have a certain arrangement that I would keep private.
Okay. Your blood chugger?
One of the more polite terms, unfortunately. I trust I can rely on your discretion.
What do I get out of that? Gideon stares at you, trying to hide his concern. Thralls, vassals, familiars, swiggers, blood chuggers, traitors. There are no good names for humans who transfuse vampire blood into their veins.
I suppose, in the circumstances, perhaps we can shelve the question of our tribute. For now, provided that the new understanding continues, of course.
Gideon puts his pen down for a moment. He steeples his fingers underneath his nose, almost attempting to hide his weariness at the continued interruption.
I am the king's seneschal. I have the king's confidence and speak for him in matters not relating to his personal business. And I think that is all you need to know about my own. I am aware that the king is most eager to find the gentleman.
Had that. Nighthawks.
This club was founded as a speakeasy long ago. The king was one of 4 such leaders at the time, though quickly rose to dominance. It has been a splendid place to conduct business, as well as a good excuse to keep it nocturnal.
Okay. Becca Glade.
Miss Glade is a highly capable employee. You should speak with her often to stay abreast of local rumors. Little evades her notice.
Vassals.
Like all things, the blood has its ups and downs. I've not slept one night in the past few years. Yet without it, I would not have had those years to enjoy. I consider that a fair trade.
I guess.
I fear that what I hear would not be especially scintillating. Perhaps Miss Glade would be more of service? Or Fabian, perhaps, if you can get a word in edgeways with that infernal boy.
Okay. Right. Let's leave the club then. Oh, I can get a cab. You leave the club and check your phone. Vampires have to be very careful to keep their eye on the time. And tonight it feels like you've been out long enough not to push your luck further. Rain beats down on the windscreen as the taxi threads its way back to the Halcyon Hotel, and what currently passes for home. You stare out of the window as the city blurs past, reflecting on the night and the many nights ahead of you. It's a new world out there, filled with stories, danger and opportunities. A new world where outcasts can thrive and where death truly is just the beginning. But that will have to wait just a little bit longer. Sunrise approaches and your cheap hotel bed calls your name. Thank you for playing the Nighthawks demo. We hope you enjoyed your brief trip to the city and that we'll be seeing you again for the full adventure. Wishlist us on Steam, follow us on your social network of choice, and perhaps consider starting over again with a different sire choice. You never know who might be waiting to greet you, and you can skip the prologue chapter next time. Well, there we go. That was the demo of Nighthawks. I enjoyed that. I really wasn't sure what it was going to be like. When I hear RPG, I think of turn-based combat. I don't think this is, but I don't know. I mean, it could be later in the game. But no, I really enjoyed that, definitely. It's like a visual novel, but with a lot more choices than a visual novel. And even what you choose right at the beginning is important. I mean, Unavowed, you could choose, I think it was 3 different types of people to be, or 6 if you count the 2 different genders. But this one, you know, it's like who sired you and what's your special skills. So yeah, something very different, and you know, I think it's going to be quite a strong game from Wadget Eye. So yeah, I think I definitely will put this on my wish list. I mean, it's Wadget Eye. It's not going to fail me, but it's not your usual point and click. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, and I will be back with demos, but obviously not the Steam Next Fest because I've done them all now, the ones that I downloaded. I was going to play Simon the Sorcerer Origins demo, but the game released yesterday and you can no longer play the demo, so I'm not going to be doing that one. So, but yeah, there's lots of demos all the time, so I'm sure you'll have another one for me soon. And that's it.